Good morning YouTube, how is everybody? Might be afternoon where you are, it might be evening, you might be sat down with a little cheeky beer watching this drivel. You might not be. But anyway, labour, it's just pull over. Because today I'm on the trusty, less rusty thing of beauty. So obviously I've got to stop. Oh look, sheep. There's a sheep admiring, there's more than one sheep, there's a few sheep, they're all admiring the RS. And who can blame them? So here we are, trusty less rusty, with the new blue bodywork, with a lovely Honda fairing. I did fit an LED headlamp. I've got the beam right now, because it was a little bit wonky. Probably not a lot's changed since you last saw this, since I came back from Wales on it. It's got the new wheels, it's got my new tyres, the old Metzler, I think they're ME22s? ME22s, yeah, front and rear, which are cracking tyres. If you've got a good bike like this, you might as well put good tyres on it. But it is running beautifully. The main thing, the thing that makes the biggest difference, I've got to say, is that cush drive back wheel. For those of you that ride RS's, and I'm sure there's a few of you, top box, I'm sure there's a few of you if you're watching this rubbish, you will know that anything at sort of low speeds, below sort of 3,500 RPM, you get that horrible snatchiness of the single cylinder. This, with that back end, that back wheel, you don't get a thing. You can run it down to probably 2,500 RPM in maybe not whatever gear you want, but you can run it down and lug it along, and it's quite happy. It has made this bike completely different to ride, so smooth. And obviously when we came back from Wales, the chain that I had on, which was the one that Mikey put on, was dead. It was knackered. It was a cheap and cheerful to get the bike running, absolutely. But now it is running beautifully. I put a DID X-Ring gold chain on, which, well, that will last many years. Keep it in good condition. And since I rebuilt the motor, I know it's done well since then, so it's had a good 1,000 miles on it just from Wales. Again, that's running beautifully. So I thought I'd get out on this, give it a bit of a spin, because the weather has started to turn. It's September in the UK, which means that the weather is sort of on the way towards autumn. And it did piss down last night. It probably pissed down. In fact, you probably can't see, but over on the downs there, which is where we'll be headed, it looks pretty misty up there. I say up there, it's not actually very high. It's not like I'm up in the mountains anywhere, but it is up on the downs. So we'll have to have a look at that and see what it's like when we get there. Yeah, that's it. You pick a side of the road, any side. But I wanted to get out on this because I've not ridden this probably for about 3 weeks. I think the last little ride out I had was on an absolute glorious day when I took the donor bike of the blue paintwork, which now has the black paintwork, when I dropped it over to Gibbo's house and ran it over to him. And I was out all day then, because I went out, I did a fair bit of riding. I messaged him early on to say, you're about today, but didn't get a reply because he was busy. And then towards the end of my ride, I stopped to take a photo because the bike was, what are they doing here? The barns at Y. Okay, looks quite nice, doesn't it? Yeah, he messaged me and said, I'm about now, do you want to run it over? I'd already done quite a few miles that day, so I thought, yeah, why not, let's crack on over on the replacement bike. But I stopped at home on the way and adjusted the air screw because it wasn't quite right, but I adjusted it the wrong way. I didn't take the tools with me, so it ran like a bit of a bag of spanners on the way over at low RPM. When I got to Gibbo's, I did a quick tweak with it and improved it. But I know he's going to pull the carb apart and have a look at that and see if it can cure the bottom end running. If not, I have got a spare carb. I might have 2 spare carbs actually kicking about, so I might rebuild one of those for him, see which is the best one, and then he can have a play with that. But yeah, it did rain, but the road started to dry. It is due to rain, so chances are I might get a bit wet on this ride, but who cares? Hey, it's not cold. Was it 19 degrees, something like that? And I'm out on the RS, and it's just so smooth with that new back wheel. I mean, the chain helps because obviously the old chain was a bit fucked, to be honest with you. I probably should have changed it before I went to Wales, but I thought I'll take some spanners with me so I can adjust it. I only adjusted it once, but I only did 1,000 miles, so having to adjust the chain, I think I adjusted it after about 600 miles, is obviously an indication that it's on its way out. But I thought I'd have a quick spin. So bit of good news, TomTom Go Ride, which is my favourite little app for these little ride outs, because you can, you're going to come out now, you're going to stay there, cheers mate. It's my favourite little app because you can put a nice little round route in, you can select how twisty you want it and it works out for you. Generally speaking, it is really good, I really like it. But cheers. I had an email, why are you held there? For no particular reason. Yeah, white van, dodgy, going around white. He had an email saying TomTom Go Ride is no longer supported. It would be deleted, whatever they do, but it wouldn't be working after, and I'm pretty sure it was August, something like that. So this morning I didn't even try and fire it up. I went straight to Kalimoto, which was what I used to use until they decided to charge you just for, you know, trying to use the app. It used to be free, and I did used to have a few issues with it. It's my favourite thing. But yeah, so I went to Kalimoto, fired that up, put a round route in, hit navigate, route looked okay, hit start navigation, and it wouldn't start. Every time it did that, it tried to send me to the payments page, and I tried a couple of different ways around it and I couldn't work it out, so I just sort of bollocks to it, and I was a bit sort of peed off. So I had to go get fuel, pop to Tesco's, chuck some super unleaded, it's only the best for the RS, chuck some super in it, pulled up in the old air bay, hit the Go Ride to see what it was doing, and it fired up. So I thought, okay, let's give it a go. So I chucked a route in, it came up with a route, I recalculated it a couple of times, hit ride, and it's going, so happy days. That is a win for today, apart from my DRS obviously, but that's a nice little win for navigation, because I do like this app, and I will be sad when it's not working, and I will try and find something to replace it. So if anyone has got any suggestions excuse me, anyone's got any suggestions on another good riding app where you can literally just chuck a distance in, chuck a rough direction or random, and it comes up with a nice little twisty rooty ride that I like riding. And you've seen the sort of roads I like, they're like this and smaller, because that's what the RS is for. It's about bopping down the lanes and smiling, which is what this makes me do. So if you've got one that you know of that you use, then chuck it in the comments and let me know. Or if I'm using Kalimoto, if I'm using it wrong, then chuck that in the comments as well, because it might be user error. But I did have some issues with it when I used to use it probably a couple of years ago now, where if I missed a junction on a ride out, and it re-navigated, you know, calculated straight away, and it took me on a 4-mile route round tiny little roads. I think it was on my multi-strada, which isn't a tiny road bike. But yeah, it took me on a what's going on here? Let's just roll it off. Look at that. Yeah, tiny little routes with grass in the middle and that sort of stuff. Only quarter of an hour later, and it probably was quarter of an hour because these roads were fucking minute, you know, I mean they were like, you know, not even the cars were in places where they were overgrown. It brought me back to the same crossroads where I'd missed a right turn. So, as you can imagine, I wasn't very impressed because whatever happened to the, you know, do a U-turn where possible? It didn't give me that option. So, I tried it a couple more times and wasn't over the moon with it. Now I know Bruce uses it. Teapot One, I'm sure. Watch bike pages on YouTube, you know who Bruce is. He uses it, and he uses it quite a lot. But they are one of his channel supporters. Now, I'm not saying that sways him because he does seem to be the sort of fella who, and I've met him, he's a nice guy. He does seem to be the sort of guy who isn't going to use stuff he doesn't like because I suppose, you know, you owe it to your viewers to be honest, don't you? And have a bit of integrity, which I'm quite happy that Bruce has got. But he has the premium version because I guess he gets it for free. And he does do little offers every now and then where you can try it for a week, a month, whatever. So maybe I'll keep an eye out for that and see if that gravel's bad, isn't it? See if the premium version actually does what I want it to do. But all the same, I know it sounds a bit tight, but if there's stuff out there that does it for free and works well, then why wouldn't I use that? I don't know how much Cali is. It's like £39 or something. That's an awful lot of fuel tanks in this. £39. Where are we going here? We are turning left. And I would certainly rather be putting petrol in this than spending it on an app that I can get for nothing. I know it sounds tight, but there are things I'd spend money on, things I'd rather not spend money on. And that is one of them. Something else would do it for nothing. But yes, TomTom Ride is working, and working very well. There's nice little bends here. Now I have ridden some of these roads, but on my mountain bike, up this way. I used to get out and do some riding, but I don't really remember a lot of them because most of them were joined by byways. You would cut across fields and tracks and stuff like that. Now that I have a dedicated off-road bike in the DRZ, this is staying purely on road. As you know, I have ridden it off-road and drowned it. That's a previous video. That was end of last summer, I think that was. But now it's all nice and tidy and clean. I've got no intentions of doing that again. I took the off-road tyres off of it because I did put off-road tyres on it. I'm taking those off. So it's purely a road bike now. Just roll off the crossroads. The temperature and humidity seems to be changing because you know when you go into a dip or whatever, the mirrors steam up. It's just done that. But the RS is running beautifully, so I thought I'd do a quick fleet update. It's starting to drizzle up here, so let's wipe the camera. Bit of a fleet update. So obviously the RS running lovely. It is a thing of beauty, and I do like this bike. I don't like this bike, I love this bike. It just makes me happy, which is what motorcycling's about. You know, it's about getting on there and having that little bit of freedom, just swooping down the lane. Just look at that, not a care in the world, look, mum, no hands, all that sort of stuff. And just enjoying life, enjoying the scenery, which I will still enjoy soon, but obviously we're coming up towards winter now. I will still be riding. I need to fit my heated grips attachment back to the battery. It's take it off while it was summer, just to save a cable from flapping around, because the seat unbolts rather than hinges, so you can't just turn the key in, tuck the lead under the seat. But yeah, I will be doing that, and obviously the RS will be. Oh no, look at this. So this is the worst thing, where you get stuck behind someone. There's nowhere I can move in to see my mirrors, so I'm just going to hang back here now. Through. Cheers. You see me now. Will he give me a... Will he pop into a lay-by and let me past? Will he fuck? Oh, why is he flashing his hazards? What have we got? He's obviously looking for something, I'm guessing. Let's just see how this unfolds. Oh, he's pulling over there. Here we go. Don't know if it was or not. Oh, well, give it a wave, just in case. But yeah, I will be using this in the winter, and I will be out on these lanes, hopefully joining the old Small Bikes Big Adventures crowd, because they do quite a few little winter rides as well, so I'll get out on that. The Panther Cafe Racer, I've seen that, I just haven't really used it. The MOT expired. I think it's still insured. I did insure it for another year because it was cheap, it was like 100 quid or something. So I did insure it, but that's locked up in the workshop. And the main thing with that is obviously because it's got carbs and I don't use it very often, I keep forgetting to train the carbs down. And then you've got to flush the fuel out, even though I put super unleaded in it, you've got to give them a flush and all that sort of stuff. But it is on a battery tender, it is ready to go. It will need probably a carb clean, and I should really get it up to my MOT guy Tom up at the Z Shed in Ashford. He's a top bloke. If you're Ashford way in Kent, Tom at the Z Shed, recommended. He'll always make you a brew if you want one, and he'll sit and have a good old natter about bikes as well. So allow MOT time plus chat time, because he does like to talk bikes. He's a proper enthusiast. He loves his Z13s as well. Him and his brother do his stuff up there. Yeah, so that's the Panther. The RC, well, that's still being used. In fact, I was out on that. I was out on that Sunday, a few days ago. Met up with an old mate, and we went to a car meet, and we took the bikes up because they're easy to park when it's a car meet. You know what it's like, especially if you don't turn up in a car that's suitable. This is the Hazard car meet just outside of Ashford. So we went to that. Took the RC, still running lovely. It is a thing of beauty, much like this. But again, it's not the most practical of bikes. It hasn't got any lights. You can use it during daytime hours. So as a night's draw, really, it won't be going to any of the evening meets. I was going to say, see what I mean about the mirrors, and lo and behold, they cleared. So that's the RC. The Hypermotard. I barely used that. Last time I rode it was to take it to Tom's for an MOT. But that's my go-to. If someone says, do you want to scoot down to, I don't know, Paul Ricard for the Boulder in a couple of weeks, which is tempting. Or is it closed, or is it next weekend? Might be this weekend actually. But anyway, that's the bike for that. Jump on that, chuck some luggage on it. It's got panniers. Fill the tank up and blast down to the south of France on it, enjoying the Twisted on the way. And that's a fun bike, it really is a fun bike. So, but it just doesn't get much use. DRZ 400, the one that made my little finger wonky. I've got an appointment at the doctor's, the fracture clinic soon, to find out why that's not fixing itself properly, why it doesn't bend very well. DRZ 400, not ridden that an awful lot, mainly because of my finger. I want to try and get that properly sorted. I don't want to damage it before they have a look at it and tell me what's wrong. But it's ready to go. I keep it charged up, so it's on the button. It is a fun bike. Yeah, it's a fun bike. But I've only got to look at it and I can smell hospital food. As you should with any dirt bike. And then what does that bring me to? That brings me to the GSXR, the bike of my childhood. Well, I say childhood, late teenage dreams. You know, when I first saw one, where are we, Peckham? When I first saw one on the cover of Bike magazine, you probably all saw that little short I did, and that was true. That was 100% true. You know, I saw one on the front cover of Bike magazine and just went, oh, you know, oh, I want one of those. And what did it take me? You know, nearly 40 years to actually buy one. But I now own one. I haven't ridden it yet. I haven't ridden it. I've ridden it in first gear from my driveway into the workshop. I wheeled it out just to check the clutch operation and check that it actually rode. If you've been seeing any of the videos I've done on that, you've just seen how far I've got with it. There's still a fair bit to do. The wheels need painting, it needs new tyres fitting, brakes need refitting. Brakes are all stripped, they're all done. The clutch master cylinder, that needs stripping and rebuilding, as does the clutch slave cylinder. Basically everything rubber on the bike is dead, so they all need doing. What else does it need? The wheels need painting. Did I just say that? I might have done. No, but if I didn't, the wheels need painting, because I'm putting those back to black, as they should be. I've got some black mirrors for it. I need to get some fork oil to do the seals. So, in fact, while I'm on this ride, I might pop into the Gooners and grab some. I think it's 15 weight it takes, because I'm pretty sure I haven't got any on the shelf, because I used it to rebuild the forks on this. No, not on this, on the other one, because the forks from the Trusty Rusty went into the other bikes. They were rebuilt with genuine Honda seals, etc. And then it all needs putting back together. The only annoying thing, I rebuilt the whole back end and it all looks lovely. I gave the panels a machine polish, and I forgot to check the number plate bulb. Put the lights on, the fucking number plate bulb doesn't work, so I've got to take it all apart now, because I went to take the bulb out and the Allen bolts, which obviously go into a captive nut inside the plastic. They're spinning, of course they are. So the captive nut isn't captive anymore. So I've got to take it apart, take the unit off the bike, and try and work out a way of holding onto the back of the nut, or cutting it off and making a new one somehow. But I'll work that out. But yeah, I should have done that before I put it back in together. So yeah, that's the update pretty much. Where are we? Oh, we're nearly at Stone Street. Old Roman Road, Stone Street. Very straight. Normally quite a lot of accidents on it as well, because it's very straight, with lots of crossroads and junctions. People go flying down there, and you get these little kinks where the junctions are a little bit blind. Yeah, not a great place. A lot of traffic today. It's not going to be a while. No, let's get out in front of this lorry. This car. Power. Look at that, 8,000 RPM. Straight up to 50. Oh, thing of beauty. It is running nicely. That valve that made the world of difference to pick up the lack of compression that it had. Where are we going up here? Taking a left up here. Anyway, well, I'll find out when I get there, won't I? Anyway, YouTube, so I'm gonna sign off here while we're stuck behind whatever we're stuck behind. Whatever it is going slow. So, as usual, YouTubes, if you're riding, stay safe. If you're not riding, watch these crap videos. I'm sure we'll be watching a lot more stuff like this when the weather draws in. And if you've liked it, chuck us a like and a subscribe or whatever. It's all free, isn't it? Because I'd like to get to 500. That's my target number, is 500 subscribers, which is a number well, I didn't, as you know, this isn't for subscribers, this is a bit of fun, but if I get 500, you know, I'll be over the moon. To think that there's 500 like-minded people that watch this crap, that'll give me a smile. So if you're one of the people that isn't subscribed, chuck a subscribe in. Go on, you know you want to. I'm not going to put links for buttons because, you know, I don't do that. You know, I press start, I press stop and I post it. That's what this channel is. It is warts and all, you know, where I say the odd gaff and what have you. None of it gets cut out. It is as it is. But anyway, yeah. Oh, and like, as you know, I go off on random waffles. So if you're riding, stay safe. That's the most important thing. If you're not riding, watch shite like this. And I will see you on the next episode. My gloves are starting to get wet. Of RSing about. Take care, everyone. Catch you soon.